This is a generative AI content production suite, and it could very well be the best tool out there to generate images. It's called Leonardo.ai. Let's dive into it. So if you've used other generative AI images tools before, this one will look very straightforward because the interface is exactly the same as what you are used to. But if you've never used any before, it might be a little bit daunting because there are a lot of features that this one offers and a lot of quirks that I'm going to show you in a second. So let's try right away with a basic prompt. So let's go here and let's try to do a beautiful hamburger. And I'm gonna choose the Leonardo diffusion model, and let's try to see what kind of images this tool produces. Okay, so not too bad, but it looks a bit dark, you know, in the image, and the meat is not the most appetizing meat, I'm guessing. Now, there are different models that you can use, and you can select them from here, from the top, and they have quite a lot, to be honest. So let's try with another model, the Leonardo Creative, and let's see what other kind of results we get from that model. Okay, so this one is a bit better. It's lighter, brighter in the image, and this weird black thing here. It looks like burnt broccoli or something, but it's a nicer feel of the image. Now I'm gonna show you in a second a way to improve those images, but let's try before that. Let's try another model. Here we can just try the Leonardo Select. I don't know the models very well, like what they do, but we'll check that again also in a minute. Okay, so besides the fork being kind of weird here, but why not? This looks much more appetizing, I guess. This Leonardo.ai suite offers a feature that is called prompt magic, and they say it's basically gives a greater prompt adherence, and it's supposed to stick more to what you ask the model to do. So if we go back to that Leonardo diffusion model and we try again activating the prompt magic, you'll see that the results are very different. Look at this. This is much better. This is much more appetizing, and there's something very nice about these burgers. So I don't know exactly how the magic prompt or the prompt magic works under the hood, but keep in mind that it uses much more tokens. They say twice as much token when you use it. That can go by quick. All right, so now I would like to check, what the community has done with those images. So if I click here, the community feed, we can see all the images that have been generated with different models. We can see that, woman seems to be a popular choice to generate images. And that gives you a feel of the kind of images you can generate, and you can see some very natural, realistic portrait of people, but you can also see some, different images. Look at this one, it looks almost like a painting, and you can see a very different range of styles, and that's pretty amazing. So I guess we can pick, any one and try it ourselves. This one is really nice. Like, it looks like a painting with, kind of a wet painting. So we can try to use this one. So let me copy the prompt, and it tells you which model was used for this one. So here it's the Dream Shaper V5, and I can click here to say I want to use the same model to generate my image as well. So instead of the beautiful burger, I can remove this and paste the prompt here. Now we can try without the prompt magic first. And notice here a feature I really like is you have this warning here that says the model that you are using right now has been trained on images that are 640 by 830 in dimension. But here we are asking to generate a 768 by 768. So it warns you that you could have different results because you are not using the dimension that the model was trained on. Now let's see what happens if we don't use the proper dimension. So let me generate a first image. And it's not bad at all. It's very close to the one that we had. We don't necessarily have that same wet, it says watercolor, wet, painting style, a bit less than the original one that we saw. But now let's activate the prompt magic, and it's supposed to adhere more to the prompt that we gave. All right, so with the prompt magic, it's definitely closer to the image that we saw earlier in the community. And I really like what it did here. Now let's take a closer look at it. All right, she's kind of holding a plate. She seems to almost be on the phone or scratching herself. I'm not sure. This one looks very nice. What about this one? Here you can see obviously some errors. It looks almost like, you know, the weird leg maybe here, or here the arm is a bit different. So what you can do in these cases, and let's take a look at this one. The arm is kind of weird here. So one possibility is to reuse this image, and I'm gonna explain in a second what all those options are on this image when you hover over it. And so one option you have is to use this image to image, and it kind of acts like the control net. You have this control net option, but here it's image to image, and this will guide the prompt to generate the new image. So if we generate again, it's going to generate something very similar to this one. See, and then now you have different options. Again, you still have maybe some errors here and there that you might be able to correct, but here this one looks pretty good to me. And this one, it's kind of a long arm. So what we could try to do, if you happen to see one of those kind of mistake, is you can edit it in Canva. So they provide this tool where you can draw a mask. For example, here, let me try to do this here. Like here. And for the prompt, I'm just gonna put hand holding a biscuit, something like that. Let's see what happens with this. Yeah, it's not pretty. So this one is not very good. This one is, the hand looks like a biscuit itself. This one is a weird hand shape. And this one this one is not too bad, but then you have this mistake here. But so you can play with the Canva and try to correct some of it in the image. So when you hover over this image, you have all these options. So you have an option to unzoom, and I'm going to show you what it does, but you have a bunch of options to upscale the image, and you have this HD smooth upscaler, which in my opinion is one of the best of the upscaler. And you have another one here to upscale image alternate, and you have this creative upscale, and you have this HD crisp upscale that you can use. And so I'm gonna click on all of them. Note that they cost 5 tokens every time, so they are a bit costly if you are using the free plan, but I'll show you in a bit what the pricing model is. So let me generate all of these, and so we can compare what the model does. Okay, so when it's done generating all those upscaled images, you can see the icon here is colored, and that tells you that the image is ready, and you can click on it and it gives you the result of that. And so now you have a drop down and you can select all the different images that you got. So remember, the original image was this one, and so we can compare the creative upscale image. And it kind of changed the hand here, so it made it a bit worse in my opinion, unfortunately, and you have to play with it a little. Now about the legs, I'm not sure. It looks kind of the same, but notice how the image style is different. It really got a bit. It removed some of the details as well, some of the wet details. It's a different style of the image, but it's still very nice. It's still a very nice image, and look at the face, how clear and detailed it is. That's pretty impressive. Okay, the alternate upscaled image, let's see what it did. So this one is much closer to the original one. It still changed a little bit. The face is much more clear, but it's very close to the original one. Now we have the HD crisp upscaled image, and again, it didn't change much of the original. This is maybe the closer to the original one that we have, except that the resolution is much bigger. Now, you have this unzoomed image, and here it kind of generates sort of a frame around the image, but I got different results. Sometimes it keeps the image, or it makes something else on the image to make it, to unzoom it, but it adds some of the environment of the image around it. But here now, I don't know if they changed anything from last time I checked, but now it seems to always create a frame around the image, which I don't know if it's useful at all or not. I'm just yeah, I don't really know what to think about this unzoomed image. Okay, so I find these options extremely useful when I generate images to have this ability to upscale in a lot of different ways. I think it's really awesome to be able to do that so easily. Okay, there are two other awesome features I want to show you from this suite. And the first one is to use custom models. So you can train your own model inside of Leonardo.ai, but you can also use some other fine-tuned models that the suite offers you. So we have Dreamshaper that we've used for this latest frame or latest image. We have Leonardo Diffusion, which was one of the first one that we used. They have those other RPG that maybe to create some character portraits. They have a bunch of others here that are doing some different things like battle axes if you are into that. But the most awesome feature is that you can use community models. So you can check what the community has generated, what the community has fine-tuned. And here are a bunch of other models that you can see to do a bunch of different things, like the zombie anime, the smoothie images. I don't know what that Hong Kong girl model. I don't know if you want to generate these images, but the obese famous character, this is pretty fun, and a bunch of other different ones that look pretty good to me. There's one I really like. It is the Little Heroes, so let's try with this one. So the Little Heroes, it says the base model was stable diffusion and the training was on 512 by 512. And so we can see what has been generated with this model. So you have Batman, Spider-Man, I don't know who that is, Elvis Presley, a cat, and so on. And so we can try to generate one of these images as well. So if I look at Batman, for example, the prompt is Batman baby. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. And then here I can say, I want to use this model to generate my images as well. So I can click on this and it's going to fine-tune, it's going to use the fine-tune model Little Heroes. And so now I just paste my, my prompt, and notice how it says here, we highly recommend incorporating the instance prompt within your prompt for better stylistic consistency with the dataset this model was trained on. In my opinion, and from what I've tried, it doesn't provide the best result, and we can try that. So let's try without first, and let's see maybe the prompt magic and generate the image. Let's see if we can get the same style as what we saw. And again, here it gives you a warning of the image not being the proper size for the trained model. And we can definitely change that. But look at the image. I mean, it looks totally fine to me, even using the different resolution here. So let's take a look at this. And it looks very close to what we saw earlier. And of course, you can upscale this again. So let's say a creative upscale, see what happens, or maybe a smooth upscaler and see what kind of image we get. While it's doing this, let's try to incorporate the instance prompt to our prompt. So Little Wonder Woman. I'm not sure how you are supposed to put it, or maybe that would be Little Batman. Let's try. So here we have Batman baby, Little Wonder Woman. Let's see what kind of results it gets. Okay, not too bad at all, actually. Not too bad, but not totally different from what we got without putting that Little Wonder Woman. So again, do you need this? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but it looks fine to me without it. So now it upscaled this image, and let's see. So this is the original image that we got, and you can see some of the details are not perfect here. The Batman sign, the face is a bit weird, but with the creative upscale, everything is absolutely perfect, and the image is incredible, to be honest. And the smooth upscale image, it's very good too. Look at the mouth and the face here, how detailed it is and realistic it is. That's honestly amazing. Let's try something ourselves, what we could do, right? Like, I don't know, President Biden. President Biden, baby, Little Wonder Woman. Let's see what happens. Do I have the magic prompt? Yes, I do. And let's try to generate without it as well. See if there's any difference here. All right, so the first set was with Little Wonder Woman, and you can see that there are some weird stuff happening on the image, and you can correct this by upscaling. So let's upscale. Let's do the smooth upscaler and the creative upscale as well. But notice how when I don't insert that instance prompt, notice how the image is clear from the get-go. And I don't have a little bit here, but I don't have those, you know, weird things happening in the image that I had here. So this one looks pretty good to me. And actually, I'm thinking, yeah, look at, it's trying to incorporate that little Wonder Woman, and it's, yeah, making, I don't know, adding this cape. And so I guess this is confusing the model. It doesn't trigger anything special. And I don't know if we are supposed to use, or maybe I'm using it the wrong way. It's very possible as well. But look at how we corrected. We were able to correct those imperfections on the image by upscaling, and now it looks totally fine. And it's a baby Biden with a cape. It's kind of funny, honestly, funny looking. This one didn't work so well, the smooth upscaled. Yeah, I guess the creative did a much better job here. And with this, it looks insanely good, honestly. Let's upscale this. I want to see what it comes up with. Let's do the smooth upscaler as well. This is pretty good. I love this model. All right, so this is the creative upscale. This is impressive. Look at those details with the tie and even the pin here of the flag. This is much clearer, much better here. And although the tie is kind of weird here, you put the button on the tie, it's a bit weird, but the face is so good. It's really nicely detailed here. And the fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers, maybe a bit weird here, but you could definitely correct this by using maybe a negative prompt or by, editing it in Canva. And the upscale, smooth upscale is, much closer to the original one, but very smoother for sure. The face is much better. So the other awesome feature about this tool is this prompt generation. And if you are like me, sometimes I don't really know what kind of details to put in the prompt and maybe the length and all of those details. And this prompt generator helps you coming up with a different set of prompts that could generate an image closer to what you want. So if we try, I don't know, let's say Leonardo da Vinci painting in his studio. If we try to have this, actually it's not the place where I'm supposed to put it. Let me cut this. I'm supposed to insert it here, and I'm gonna generate 4 prompts, and I click on ideate, and this will generate 4 ideas of a prompt that you could use to generate an image. So look at these ideas that he came up with: a Renaissance style portrait of Leonardo da Vinci surrounded by his tools and art suppliers in his studios, a detailed close-up view of Leonardo da Vinci's brush strokes as he paints a masterpiece in his studios. I definitely want to see this one, so I'm gonna click on generate. A vibrant, colorful painting of Leonardo da Vinci in his studio, illuminated by the warm light of the setting sun. All right, I'm just gonna generate this. A surreal, dreamlike landscape of Leonardo da Vinci studio filled with artwork and tools on the trade. What else can I do? I can edit it. Okay, let me try to generate this one, see what it comes up with. The first one is a detailed close-up view of Leonardo da Vinci, and this one is really good. This one is very good, I feel. I mean, I don't know the details of the face, but that kind of looks like Leonardo da Vinci to me. Let's upscale this. This is pretty good as well. This is a different style for sure, but it's vibrant, colorful painting. And so it can give you a lot of, doing these prompts generation can give you a lot of ideas for generating your image. That's an awesome feature to use. So I love this prompt generation. So how much does Leonardo.ai cost? Well, you have a free version, that's the good news, and they gave you 150 fast generation per day. So 150 token that you can use for, the generation or upscaling or background removal. Now, as you've seen, some of the operation like upscaling takes you 5 tokens, or some of the prompt magic takes you twice as much token as you would need. So 150 tokens is not gonna get you too far, but it's free and it's a very nice way to test the tool by yourself. Now, if you wanna go a little bit deeper and use it a little more, you have these other subscription, which are Apprentice, Artisan, and Maestro. I love the way they name them, like painters. And this Apprentice will give you 8,500 token per month. This is the one I have, and you can pay either $12 per month or you can pay yearly, and that will come down to $10 a month. And that gives you 8,500 generation, or 1,700 upscale, or 5,250 background removal, and you can use them in any order or any combination. So that's kind of nice. And if you want to go, like, the highest of them is like $50 a month, and that gives you 60,000 tokens a month. and that will be way enough, I guess, for your need to generate a bunch of images. So who is this tool for? In the end, I think, there are a lot of AI generation tool out there, but in my opinion, this one is the one that offers the most features. This is absolutely insane in terms of models that you can use. They already have a lot of models out of the box, but you can also use the models from the community, and this is truly awesome. Plus, they have this idea generation, which I think is tremendous. And they have all those upscaling features and unzooming features that you can add. And the magic prompt, which does wonders, to be honest. It really helps the image to get closer to the prompt that you used. And so all those features packed into one suite, to me, is a killer because it offers so much, and for a very reasonable price, $10 a month. I think Midjourney is also $10 a month. You get a lot for your money here. And if you are not very familiar with the lot of AI generative tools, I think this one might be the one for you to get started using it, because it has the wider range of possibilities that you can, or styles that you can generate. And this makes it a tremendous tool to use. All right, time to give a score to this tool. So it is in the category of image generation, and for the accuracy, I gave it an 8 because the magic prompt increases the accuracy tremendously, I feel. But still, you still get, like any other generative content out there, you still get some hallucination and some errors. So it's not perfect yet. But honestly, with the negative prompt that you can add, you get some impressive results. So the interface is an 8.5 because it's very straightforward, it's very clear, it's easy to find all the tools. You've seen the upscaling and how they add buttons on the image when you hover over it. It's extremely easy to use. One caveat I would say is that sometimes when I wanted to put the prompt for the image generation, ideas generation, I couldn't see clearly the box where to put the prompt, or because of the dark mode, sometimes it's not very clear where the prompt is. But here I'm nitpicking, and honestly, the interface is very easy to use, and it's extremely good. Now, the platforms, I gave it an 8 because they have a mobile version. Like, you can use the website on mobile, and what they did is incredible. It's extremely easy to use on your mobile. It's very neat, very easy to find everything. So honestly, kudos to them, because that's tremendous. The time saved, it's maybe more for a productivity category, but I put it at 8 because you can generate some insane images. And if you are in marketing, or if you are doing whatever you are doing, you're gonna save a lot of time by generating those images. And for example, if you want to use to generate thumbnails, this is insane, the time you're gonna gain by using this tool. Ease of use, it's extremely easy. You just have to put the prompt in. Now, I wish some of the options were explained a little better. For example, there's an option that is tiling. I still don't know exactly how it works. And there was this option when you generate those images. There's this option I didn't talk about, which is Leonardo style. And I'm not 100% sure what it does, and they don't explain, the difference that it makes. So yeah, just for that, I would like a bit more explanation inside of the interface to make it easier for people to use. Now, the value you get, I said it's almost close to perfect for $10 a month. If you want to generate a bit more image than the free version, you get a tremendous amount of value. You can use so many models. You can, I already talked about it, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but the value you get is tremendous. So the overall score is 49.5, and I hope this tool will make it in your toolbox, because it's a must-have, it's a must-use, and you will get tremendous amount of value out of it.